This poor little Mk2 Golf has been neglected for far too long. I went to open it and the battery is completely flat. When I did get the door open, this is what I found. My God, there is mildew everywhere, and look at this, folks. Definitely not good. It's been sat outside for about 2 months and we haven't driven it, to be honest with you. But 2 months, like, I mean, Jesus. It's things escalated quickly. So the first thing I want to do is get the battery charged up and get it into the garage and try and dry it out. And then we need to find out where that leak is coming from. Oh my God, that is absolutely crazy. Look at the mildew in this thing and everything. Jesus, I should be looking after this car an awful lot better than this, to be honest with you. Okay, so the water's on both sides actually, so that makes me wonder where it's coming in. I was kind of thinking the sunroof. Now, I'll be taking the headliner down anyway because the headliner has kind of disintegrated. It's a thing that happens to Mk2 Golfs, unfortunately, but yeah, I have to do something about that anyway. It looks desperate. So yeah, look, the exterior of this car is nice, but the interior is unfortunately looking a bit sorry for itself, as you can see. So anyway, I'll keep going with the wet vac. Oh my God, look at the mildew on the back of the seats as well. That's on the base of them. It's everywhere. Genuinely thinking I'm going to have to pull the seats and the carpets out of this car and just do a job on them out of the car, because I'm at nothing here. Like, taking the carpets out of a Mk2 Golf is not a straightforward job because it's all just one piece. So in order to get the carpet out, you have to get the seats out. And if I'm going to get the seats out, I may as well do the headliner as well while I'm at it as well. Talk about jobs escalating. Okay, so after having taken the carpet out of the back and just looking in where the spare wheel is, there's obviously evidence of a bit of water here. Now, there is a drain hole there, but yeah, I do suspect that actually the water may be coming in around the rear light clusters, and that's going to be my first port of call. The other option is the sunroof, but I'm not fully convinced it is actually the sunroof because I did check the drains in the not too distant past and that, and they were intact and working. I have to start sprinkling water over it and look in the windows and see if any water is coming into the inside. I do still suspect that it's coming in at the back. I know the carpet in the front on the passenger side was slightly wet as well, but I do think it's just running forward. So I'll just put the hose across the top of the car and just leave it there for a while, keep looking into the inside, and hopefully it will reveal itself quick enough. Okay, found it immediately behind the passenger side rear light cluster. There's water pouring into it. You see now if we can see if it's coming in around the rear light cluster and the driver's side as well. Yeah, both sides. Water's absolutely lashing into the boot. Right, have to fix that. So at least we found the problem, or at least one of them. Right, so we established that that's the point of our leak, is the two rear light clusters. Now the problem I have is this: that is not the gasket that's gone, I can tell you. It's body rot. There's obviously a hole in behind there, and what I'm afraid of is that if I take that rear light cluster out, it's going to take some body work with it. I have a repair panel for this section here, but I think at this point in the game it's high time we got it done. Now, it's solid across there, okay, and what I'm thinking is if I do take the light out and we lose a bit of body work in there, could I patch it for the moment and basically get a few more weeks out of it? I've a few other expenses going on at the moment that I don't want to be thinking about doing body work on this at the moment, because this is a part of the car you want done right. So I'd be getting a professional to do it, especially because it's a metallic colour. So now what I'm thinking is, the water got in there, pooled here, ran down into here. How did it get down into the passenger and driver's side rear footwells? Which leads me to believe that there may be other points of leakage as well. But look, let's just deal with these ones for the moment and we can go from there. 4 8mm nuts is all that's needed to remove the rear light clusters and these. Okay, this bonded in. Right, let me get a scraper. It really doesn't matter that much to me if this light cluster doesn't go back in, to be honest with you, at this point. Well, it does, but it's not a complete catastrophe, because my plan is, once I get out, you bugger, once I kind of have the battery charged, I'm going to get it into the garage anyway, now that I know where the leak is, because obviously trying to find a leak in the garage is a bit of a problem. Oh my god. Right. The bodywork has gone very, very crispy around here altogether. Okay, so I'm just looking along here and I'm comparing it to the repair section I got. Now there is a bit of surface rust on the repair section as well, in the same place funnily enough, but that's actually all a separate piece of metal with a seam going around it on the back side, okay? So if you look here, all I really need to do is fabricate this piece. I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, to be honest with you, as far as bodywork goes. And if I bring it up as far as, say, that point there, and cut it there, now I'm not going to use this bit for this job, because it seems like a bit of a waste, to tell you the truth, but what I can do is use it for fabricating or getting the shape of this, and I'm hoping then that this will grind back and it'll look okay. If needs be, I can treat it and just put a bit of filler on it or whatever, just to kind of tidy it up. But then that's our area of concern, so that can all be cut out or chiseled away or whatever, away from the seam that's underneath it, and then we can possibly even plug weld it. And do you hear your man saying plug weld and stuff like that, as if I know what I'm talking about. And we can cut it along there and then go down there, around there, and even if it's a bogey looking repair, it's going to be underneath the light cluster and you won't see it. And that's all well and good though, but if I'm going to be doing all of that work there as well, I'm damned if I'm not doing something with the headliner too, so that's all going to be another job too. So then there's also the act of removing the mildew from the inside of the car, which is gross, but needs to be done. So yeah, as you can see, jobs have a tendency to snowball. The joys of classic car ownership. So the passenger side is basically the same as the driver's side. To tell you the truth, there's a whole job involved in actually repairing that in itself, and that's going to be a job for another video. But at least we now know where the water's getting in, or at least one place where the water's getting in. We're going to focus on that area first and foremost, and I'm going to start getting rid of the mildew out of this car now. So that's today's job. For the purposes of this job, I'm going to use Demon Clean, our multi-purpose cleaner. I'm just going to spray it on so that the mildew is wet, because that'll stop the spores from flying around. I'm just going to wipe it off. And this is going to be a starting point. To be honest with you, I'm going to see about hiring a steam cleaner, which we can do the upholstery with when the time comes, but we need to fix the leak before we do stuff like that. At least this will get rid of some of the nastiness. Straight away, that's infinitely better. So I'm going to continue on through the car, and I'm just going to get rid of as much of the mildew as I can, and at least it'll kind of make it somewhat manageable, and then we can kind of go back at it then once I've got the bodywork repaired here. So yeah, anyway, we'll keep going. Okay, so it's had a couple of hours on a rapid charger, but just as a belt and braces kind of effort, I'm going to put the booster pack on it now anyway, and we're going to try and start it up and see how that goes. And once we have it running, it's going into the garage, and I won't be coming back out again until that problem area is fixed at the back. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Really did not want to go. I think what it is that this has a mechanical fuel pump, and the Weber carburetor, the float bowl just dries out in it and takes a while to fill again. So if it was a case where it had an electronic fuel pump, it would fill the float bowl before you ever even try and crank it, and then there's fuel already there. But cranking it dry means it's never going to kick until it has the petrol there to go. So anyway, look, it's started now, it's ticking over, so choke is on and all that. I'm going to let it tick over for a while. A few other little jobs to be done is that alternator belt needs changing as well, and I'll do the power steering pump belt while I'm at it. It drives the water pump too, and I'll give it a service. But you can see now it's looking a lot more civilized inside. The mildew is, well, I'm not going to say completely eradicated, but it's certainly an awful lot better than it was. Okay, so it's tucked up safe and sound in the garage now for the moment. I'm going to leave the doors and windows, the stuff open, just to air it out and let it kind of dry a bit inside. And then when I get a bit of metal to repair that corner there, I don't want to use that repair section yet. I'm going to get stuck into that and see what we can do to tidy it up and hopefully sort out the leak. And then we can kind of try and dicky up the rest of the interior and have a look at that headliner. So I hope you'll join me along the way, and I'll keep you updated on my progress. Thanks for watching, and please do hit the subscribe button before you go.